China is in the line of US fire as the world grapples with coronavirus pandemic. There are more than 55,000 active cases in the United States of America, more than 69,000 in Italy. US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo hit out at Beijing, accusing China of hiding facts and suppressing information even now. Crucial information that can help save lives of thousands even today. China, of course, hit back saying the US is only trying to pass the buck. US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo hit out at China for concealing information about the coronavirus pandemic. Pompeo accused China of withholding information about the gravity of the crisis and alleged China continues to not only cover up but has also launched a misinformation campaign.
There's been some discussion about China and what they knew and when they knew it, and I've been very critical. We need to know immediately. The world is entitled to know. The Chinese government was the first to know of this risk to the world, and that puts a special obligation to make sure that the data gets to our scientists, our professionals. This is not about retribution. This matters going forward. We're in a live exercise here.
Accusing the Chinese Communist Party of a massive cover-up, Pompeo insisted China's actions were affecting the global fight against coronavirus and putting thousands of lives at risk globally. In fact, US President Donald Trump in the past has termed the coronavirus as the Chinese virus.
I would like to begin by announcing some important developments in our war against the Chinese virus. We'll be invoking the Defense Production Act just in case we need it. In other words, I think you all know what it is.
Much of America's anger stems from the fact that there are more than 55,000 confirmed coronavirus cases in the United States, with more than 700 deaths recorded so far. New York has emerged as the epicenter of the coronavirus in the US and now has been completely locked down. Several analysts find merit in the US criticism, accusing China of suppressing information about the outbreak in December, destroying proof of the virus, not sharing evidence of human-to-human transmission, delaying sharing information with the World Health Organization, blaming US soldiers for the virus. China hit back at the United States for trying to pass the buck.
People should not resort to sayings like Chinese virus at will. The World Health Organization has asked to avoid calling the novel coronavirus Chinese virus. And now this is time for solidarity, for respect of facts, and for joint fight against the virus.
Class action suits have been filed against China both in Florida and in Texas, accusing China of creating the coronavirus to be used as a biological weapon. But it's not the US alone. With lax suffering the pandemic globally, the world wants China to come clean. Sooner the better. Bureau Report, India Today. Are these the grim realities on China the world has to face and address? Joining me on India First is Samir Saran, President of the Observer Research Foundation. Samir Saran, is the US being unfair in blaming China for the coronavirus pandemic?
I don't think the US is being unfair in blaming China. I think China must be under much greater scrutiny than it is. The US response clearly is based on the fact that the Chinese have tried to shift the blame. They have tried to change the narrative. They were trying to allege that somehow the virus was had its origins in the United States. More recently, they are suggesting that the Italian variant preceded the Wuhan outbreak. Their opacity, their lack of transparency, their attempt to destroy evidence, and clearly their manipulation of the WHO all needs to be questioned. The US and the world community must ask China difficult questions, but at this stage we must try and protect our populations.
Okay, but is China still suppressing information and facts as the US alleges? What information does the world still need from China to treat thousands of coronavirus patients globally?
Is China suppressing facts? Of course it is. It has been extremely dubious in sharing information. It has been very determined in its attempt to destroy evidence. In Korea, we got to know who patient 31 was. We were able to trace patient 31's whereabouts, contacts and movements and understand the epidemic in that particular region. Who is patient 0? Do we know too much about the patient 0? If we don't know who patient 0 was, do we also know how the virus made the leap between the particular species and human beings? Lot of issues are clearly being pushed under the carpet. China has to be more forthcoming. We must demand answers.
Okay, we must demand answers, you say. China, of course, blames the United States. China says US soldiers smuggled the virus into Wuhan. US calls this a misinformation campaign. As far as the rest of the world is concerned, will truth ever emerge?
What we are seeing instead today by the Chinese is not necessarily an attempt to come clean, but they are unleashing their well-oiled propaganda machine. From their political class to the Politburo to the party school to the media to their influence in key media organizations, the money power, the advertisement power that they wield over key public spaces, from institutions and universities to think tanks and international publications. We are seeing the Chinese trying to shift the narrative. Instead of coming clean, they are trying to change the story around the origins of this crisis. China is being projected as a savior, coming to the rescue of the world. China is being shown to be someone who has bought the world time. Rather than China owning up, coming clean and helping us respond to this outbreak, China is projecting itself as literally the savior. Some people, unfortunately, are buying it. We must resist this narrative.
Oh, absolutely. The truth must emerge. But is it just China, Mr. Samir Saran, or does the blame also lie at the door of the World Health Organization? Did the WHO close its eyes to ground reality and perhaps lull the world?
The WHO has not done itself any favors by its actions in the past few months. From January to the middle of February, everything they did was literally helping the Chinese government, the Communist Party of China, hide facts from the world. There's a cloud over this organization. And in this particular year, as UN begins to look at life beyond 75, key UN institutions seem to be discredited. WHO is certainly one of them. I think the world needs to come together and think if multilateralism can survive in this particular fashion. We must all debate post this crisis the role WHO played, and I'm telling you the results are going to be rather grim.
Oh, absolutely. The situation even now is rather grim. Samir Saran, President of the Observer Research Foundation. For the moment, many thanks for joining me. India, of course, was monitoring the situation very, very closely. Prime Minister Narendra Modi ordered a nationwide lockdown. Today was day one of the 21-day nationwide lockdown, the biggest in history, with 1.3 billion people being asked to stay indoors to try and stem the spread of the coronavirus pandemic. Fortunately, today, unlike late last night, there wasn't much panic buying of essentials. Food, vegetables, shops were open. In most places, people followed the social distancing norms.
First day of 3-week pan-India lockdown. People out for groceries and vegetables were the only ones out amid barricaded roads and sealed borders.
There is a curfew announcement, there is a restriction, but at the Sabzi Mandi Ghanta Ghar at 8 a.m., the crowds are there. People are buying groceries, people are buying fruits, vegetables and puja samagri because Navratris are on. And you can see very few are actually wearing masks or even maintaining social distancing.
People were seen practicing social distancing while shopping.
We are at Delhi-Noida border and we can see the Delhi police has started taking strict action against those who are violating the rules. Also, apart from that, Delhi police is also checking everyone's iCard, and those who are not connected to any essential services, like those who are not doctors, who are not medical practitioners, who are not from the police or security department or from media, Delhi police is taking strict action against those people.
Mumbai wore a never-before deserted look on Gudi Padwa, the new year of Maharashtrians. But the city was fairly stocked up with essentials and there were no complaints of shortages.
The goodies which are installed at every window across Maharashtra are missing this year. The government advisory clearly states that people have to not get into gatherings. They have to stay home and stay safe.
The lockdown in Bengaluru was imposed strictly. But unlike Delhi and Mumbai, in Bengaluru, people were seen ignoring the call for social distancing.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his speech has asked everyone in the nation to follow the concept of social distancing, staying apart. But right here at this supermarket, you can clearly see people at the counter, cash counter, no one following what is known as social distancing. In fact, you're supposed to stay at least a minimum of 1 to 2 meters apart from each other. But over here, you see everyone is as close as possible to one another.
In Hyderabad too, only shops selling essential items were open amid the lockdown. But Chennai strictly observed the national lockdown. Police were seen pleading with people to go home.
So the police over here doing the duties this morning, you can see ambulances made to go, but police asking people like this whether they have cards and what are the essentials they are dealing with. This as the country goes into a 21-day lockdown.
Like rest of the country, the lockdown was strictly enforced in Kolkata. The roads and streets were deserted and markets shut, but essential services were exempted.
Not just about the lesser number of people who are now reaching out to buy these, but also understanding the precautionary measures that everyone is taking. Almost all the sellers are wearing masks and are also adhering to the basic guidelines of washing their hands again and again. The fact that it is a busy day, the first day of the country lockdown, and of course, the first of its own experiences for everyone.
The very first day saw hiccups but was much better than the panic buying after Modi announced lockdown on Tuesday. Bureau Report, India Today.
And that's the reason that you must not lose hope. You should not lose heart. There is light at the end of the tunnel. A couple from Pune are giving Maharashtra and the rest of the country reason to cheer. Now, this couple had traveled to Dubai. When they returned, they tested positive within 5 days of returning. They spent a fortnight plus in isolation at a Maharashtra government hospital. And today, take a look at these images as their entire residential society. They cheered as an ambulance got the couple home. I spoke to them a short while back. Let's listen in.
अब कैसा फील कर रहे हैं आप और कितने दिन अस्पताल में रहे आप?
ये सर 17 दिन हमारा आज कंप्लीट हो गया है
जी।
हेलो
जी।
और 14 दिन का क्वारंटाइन था। हमें 9 तारीख को एडमिट हुए थे
जी,
और आज हमको वहां से डिस्चार्ज मिल गया है। 14 दिन पूरा क्वारंटाइन था, आइसोलेशन वार्ड एंड ये सब क्वारंटाइन करने के बाद
जी
15वें दिन और 16वें दिन उन्होंने सेकंड टेस्ट थर्ड टेस्ट लिया, उसमें नेगेटिव रिपोर्ट आने के बाद आज हमारा डिस्चार्ज हो गया है।
ये किस तरह का टेस्ट होता है? आपका किस तरह से टेस्ट हुआ? आपका 3 बार टेस्ट हुआ?
हाँ, टेस्ट ऐसा होता है कि पहली बार जो होता है वो स्वैब लेते हैं जो गले के सामने से, दूसरा नाक में से नोज में से लेते हैं, स्वैपिंग करते हैं
जी,
और तीसरा ब्लड लेते हैं। ये 3 सैंपल लेते हैं वो टेस्ट करने के लिए, कोरोना का टेस्ट करने के लिए
जी। तो क्या हुआ? 14 दिन आइसोलेशन में क्या दिनचर्या रही आपकी?
हम पहले 2 दिन तो थोड़े दिक्कत से आ गए क्योंकि वो हॉस्पिटल में कैंटीन वगैरह नहीं था। उन्होंने बाहर से खाना मंगाने के लिए हमको बोला था। हम 20 किलोमीटर रहते थे, फैमिली मेंबर हमारे साथ ही थे, तो हमने जितने भी अपने दोस्त थे उनसे बता दिया, फैमिली मेंबर को बाकी के गाँव में बता दिया। तो उन्होंने कुछ लोगों से बात किया जो इसमें सरकार में मंत्री वगैरह है, तो उन्होंने ऐसे इनसे बात की कि ऐसे आपको फैसिलिटी देंगे तो ये लोग आराम से रह सकते हैं, तो प्रॉब्लम आ जाएगी।
ठीक।
तो 2-3 दिन हमको फ्रेंड लोगों ने लाके टिफिन दिया, फिर बाद में यहाँ के कारपोरेशन ने डिस्कस करके सब लोगों का, हमारे साथ जो भी लोग एडमिट थे या जो टेस्ट करने के लिए आ रहे थे, सबको खाना शुरू कर दिया। वो कंटिन्यूस फिर हम डिस्चार्ज होने तक वो चालू ही था।
ठीक।
और वो ये चाय 2 बार चाय और 2 बार खाना देते थे, तो ये हो गया दवा का कोर्स था सुबह का और शाम का। जैसे इसमें लक्षण है फीवर, कोल्ड, कफ और जो खांसी आती है या दर्द होता है या कोई बाकी के टॉयलेट और यूरिन के लिए कोई प्रॉब्लम आते है, तो ऐसे इसके ऊपर उन्होंने दवा दी।
अच्छा, और आपको दवाइयाँ भी देते थे? दवाइयाँ क्या देते थे आपको?
वही दवाई में तो जैसे मुझे फीवर आ रहा है तो वो फीवर ना आने के लिए उसके प्रोटेक्शन करने के लिए दवा, तो वो दवा उन्होंने टैग जो अपने मेडिकल में मिलते हैं ऐसे 4 टाइप की दवा दी थी, और अपने पास से 2 टाइप की दवा दी थी जो ओपन में आती जैसे टैग करके देते हैं।
ठीक ठीक।
2 दिन तो हमको बुरा लगा, कैसे तो निकाले। तीसरे दिन से हमने बुक वगैरह मंगवा के लिए फ्रेंड से, और फिर इंटरनेट के माध्यम से जो भी हम लोग जैसे कि भगवान की आरती करना है, पूजा करना है, ये करना है, सुबह उठ के हम लोग प्राणायाम योगा वगैरह थोड़ा करते थे। हमको थोड़ा ये करने की आदत है तो हम लोग वो सुबह करते थे। फिर बाद में चाय और बाकी के सब काम होने के बाद दोपहर में फ्रेंड्स के साथ, फैमिली के साथ वो फोन के ऊपर बात करते थे हम, कैसे ठीक है, क्या चल रहा है, क्या नहीं चल रहा है करके।
So having that positive outlook and attitude is very important, and this too shall pass. As we all collectively battle COVID-19, there is one simple thing that all of us must do to defeat this virus. For you, it's extremely important. Stay at home, stay safe. Join us in this India Today campaign.
Hello, I'm Dr. Mansi and I'm taking care of COVID-19 patients at Dr. RML Hospital. This pandemic has reached stage 2, and if no precautions taken, in no time it will reach stage 3. But we shall overcome this only if...
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.